the current, where's the thing? It's the current environment. If this had been maybe 10 or 15 years ago, he would have been met, but it probably would have been passed over. But now, pedophile, the way we're going to re-examine, because they're re-examining stuff. And
are they investigating Drake?
No, but they could. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
They could. I don't know if he's taking advantage of.
I haven't been up on what's been going on, so I don't know.
Just his UMG suit, he's like asking to see like emails from Lucy and Grange, the CEO of the company.
Right.
He wants
Discovery.
Yeah, in the Discovery, he's like saying, he wants to see anything related to Kendrick and domestic violence, like just stuff.
Really?
Yeah, he's adding Rock Nation and potentially Apple into the suit because.
Oh, he's wildin'.
Yeah.
Just can't take that L.
No.
Wow. I didn't know it was going down like that.
Yeah. Him and Mustard, West Coast, the timing, the response, like just it was a perfect storm. No, it was a perfect storm.
Why didn't you guys tell me this was going on? I didn't know. Why didn't y'all keep me hip?
Yeah, tell your subs to let you in on the dirt.
Hey, because I don't know nothing about the dirt. Somebody put me up on game. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hey, we doing good on the likes already. Hey, get to the likes. Get to your phone lines. I want to talk to y'all. What up, T Money? My niece is in the building. I'll tell her what up. What up, though? Rep your city. If you in here live, rep your city. Wagwan. What up, Baba's Cafe?
I never cast it in Zen stuff. You know, I approached it with mindfulness.
Mindfulness, yes.
So we talked about mindfulness as being, as much as we pump iron and we run to build our strength up, we need to build our mental strength up. We need to build our mental strength so we can focus, get one-pointed attention, and so that we can be in concert with one another in times of need. When you come off the court, you had a bad call, things going wrong for you, you sit on the bench, you take a breath, and you reset yourself. You reset yourself. And you do that through this mindfulness. You just come right back in and collect yourself. So we practiced mindfulness, is what you have to do. But what did stick was meditation. That was always something that was able to stick with these guys.
So powerful.
Yeah. I meditate every day. And it normally takes, I do it in the mornings, and I do it for about 10 to 15 minutes. And I think it's important because it sets me up for the rest of the day. It helps me. It's like having an anchor. If I don't do it, I feel like I'm constantly chasing the day, as opposed to being able to be controlled and dictate the day. Not that you're calling the shots on what comes forward, but the fact that I am set and ready for whatever may come my way. I have a calmness about whatever comes my way, and I'm poised. that comes from starting the morning off with meditation.
So you would literally have the guy sit in stillness,
That's right.
meditating.
That's right. Taught them how to hold their hands, where your shoulders had to be, the whole process of being in an upright situation so that you're not slouched and you're not going to fall asleep. And they bought into it.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the voice of reason. And we heard the legendary voices of Phil Jackson. This is Los Angeles. You know what it is. Phil Jackson, Los Angeles Lakers, Kobe, Bean, Bryant, the Black Mamba, talking about meditation. Now, what's interesting about that particular story, Kobe later tells the story that it was Michael Jackson who actually got him to buy into Phil's meditation thing. The Michael Jackson, Thriller, Off the Wall, right? So it was Michael, because early on, Kobe, amazing player, of course, and Phil was trying to impress upon him, you're already great, slow down. Slow down. Let the game come to you. Stop chasing the game. Slow down. You're already great. When the game slows down, you're going to be more explosive. You're going to be more effective. Slow down. Stop chasing the game. And he told him about meditation. And Kobe wasn't all the way on board with it. And then he had a conversation with Michael Jackson. And Michael Jackson, who was into Krishnamurti and reading all of these books and all of these spiritual and metaphysical concepts, Mike was on it too. And Mike was like, no. Your coach is on to something, bro. Get on that. And so that is the motivation for tonight's topic. I've recently picked up golf. And golf is one of those mindfulness sports. It's you against the ball. It's just you out there, you on the links. And what I found out early, right? I found that in the beginning, people would say, okay, hold your shoulder this way. And as a matter of fact, don't let the club move faster than your wrists, and don't do this, and shift your hips, and then widen your stance. And early on, I found myself thinking of all the little things, in order to hit that ball. But once I started to clear my mind and just focus on the ball. Don't try to hit it so hard. It's the worst thing you can do in golf is swing too fast. And no. This is not baseball. You're not swinging a bat. You're swinging a club. Let your swing for you, not your strength. The club already has loft on it. All you have to do is hit the ball correctly, and the club will do the rest. But once I quieted my mind, and I started to just zero in on the ball and not think about any instructions and what you should do, and put your right foot back and then angle your left foot and then hold on, your grip is wrong. Once I started slowing down and just looking at the ball, next thing you know, whack, I started killing it, man. And I'm proud of myself. My first ever game on the links was this past weekend, and I hit 4 bogeys. Now, if you don't know golf, you might not be interested. But a bogey is good. Listen, if I would have made the shot before the bogey, that would have been a par, which is even. And a golfer told me, hey, if you play bogey ball, you're playing pretty good. I had 4 bogeys in 9 holes. I think I did pretty good. For my first time ever, golfers out there, call in and let's talk about mindfulness. But you know, the voice of reason here on KBLA Talk 1580 is a show about relationships. And I believe mindfulness, like yoga, like, like narcissism, like love, is a bastardized term. It's a misused term. It's a misunderstood term. Whenever the West grabs something from the ancient East, the West changes it a little. Do you understand? Mindfulness is not talking about a full mind. It's really talking about an empty mind. Now, this leads us into the greats. My goodness. Tonight's topic, are you ready? Get to your phone lines. The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. Mindfulness versus blindfulness. What in the Sam hell is blindfulness, Zoe? Somebody who is willfully blind, who willfully looks away from the work that is necessary in order to grow. They are blindfulness. They are blindfold, I should say. This intriguing exploration delves into the process of incorporating mindfulness into the making of relationships, and particularly turning relationships into a sacred space, right? Relationships are supposed to be a sacred container, right? Where self-knowledge, self-acceptance, self-approval, self-integration, all of these things are supposed to arise out of relationships. But far too many people have inverted relationships, and they put the onus on the partner to show up and give them what they didn't get, and next thing you know, it's all about what I'm getting. Relationship is a space for sacred giving, the giving of your truth, the sharing of your truth, the cultivation of your truth, right? It's a sacred space for all of that. And I've got questions. If mindfulness is presence, then what is blindfulness? A retreat into absence or a performance of false presence? Does authentic relationship require mindfulness, or can blindfulness masquerade as intimacy until collapse? When Krishnamurti speaks of choiceless awareness, does this mean the highest relational truth arises when both partners stop trying to relate? See, if you haven't integrated, if you're not on the healing path, if you're not working towards integration, if you're not checking the self, checking in with self and checking the self, self-auditing, right? If you're not doing the healing work yourself, only your wounds can relate. That's what trauma bonding is. Only your wounds understand each other. Your insecure attachment style, your unforgiveness of your mama and father and whoever else didn't show up. That's the only thing that's relating. Let me read the question again. When Krishnamurti speaks of choiceless awareness, does this mean the highest relational truth arises when both partners stop trying to relate? If language is a map, as Alfred Korzybski argued, what happens when blindfulness causes us to confuse the relational map with the relational territory, the reality, the experience of what we're going through sometimes gets lost in translation, gets lost in the words we use. Lord have mercy. Can the ancient concept of wu-wei, effortless action, exist within relationships built on attachment wounds? Or does insecurity inevitably distort flow into a desire for control? These are deep questions. These are questions that mindfulness as a practice that is integrated into our relationships could help answer. Does insecure attachment create a gravitational pull into blindfulness? Willful blindness is what I'm defining blindfulness as. Does insecure attachment create a gravitational pull into blindfulness where autopilot replaces mindful presence? How many of you are going along to get along in your relationship? Are you mindful or willingly blindful? 1-800-920-1580. In what ways does blindfulness operate as a trauma-blocking defense, numbing one from the pain of relational truth? Can a monkey mind, this is how the ancient East, whether it's India, Tibet, Buddhism, right? They call it the monkey mind when the mind is constantly ruminating and thinking and judging and criticizing and negative self-talk and beating oneself up and beating others up and constantly thinking. They call it the monkey mind. Can a monkey mind ever be relationally safe? Or does busyness and distraction always destabilize trust? Do unresolved CPTSD wounds ensure that mindfulness collapses into blindfulness the moment conflict emerges? 1-800-920-1580. 1-800-920-1580. Are you mindful or blindful? I want to know, what are you going through in your intimate relationships? What are you doing to them and what are you doing to yourself? Come on now, let's get to it. 1-800-920-1580. If relational flow requires nervous system regulation, according to Babette Rothschild, what sacred practices transmute dysregulation into mindfulness? To what extent is blindfulness the ego's most subtle disguise, appearing engaged while actually internally fleeing? Oh, Lord, tonight's topic, are you mindful or blindful? Willingly blind. Come on now. When we come forward, the voice of reason wants to talk to you. Hey, somebody gave me a compliment. They said I'm looking healthy. Hey, man, I'm just sitting there clacking those 65s. Hey, 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 come on. T.O.Y., you ain't quote yourself on my question. What do you mean? What did I miss? You know I don't see everything that's happening. Tell me what's happening, niece. Niece, what did I miss? Tell me. I quoted you in the one thread. Where? Is that on Instagram? What am I missing? Where is it? I'm confused. That means you're at 185 on the bench then, Zoe. Hey, man. Click a clacker. Click a clacker. Click a clacker. Take a spray can and slap a whack rapper. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Hey, no, I'm getting it in. 165 push-ups every other day. Because I go twice a week, and he starts with push-ups, so I can't get around the damn push-ups. So I know you like
as a cook, I think you should just take these phone calls.
What we got?
We got Annie from Baldwin Park. Sound like a white woman or whatnot. She on the phone.
I love it.
I don't want her to be on hold and then hang up. You feel me?
I got you.
You feel me?
I got you. I'm not there yet. I'm getting the work in though. Nah, and Dizzle understands the nature of new callers. They'll hang up in 2 minutes. That playlist.
I just want to say the other day I was over here banging nothing but instrumentals with my girl playing cards. I am nobody, tall black guy, Freddie Joe, Kim, all the cats. So shout out to you, Joe.
But here in the West, a lot of what people do in meditation is sit there and criticize themselves. I'm having too many thoughts. But the thoughts are moving too fast. Or that I'm thinking thoughts that are taboo. I'm thinking like I'm angry, I shouldn't be feeling angry. I'm turned on, I shouldn't be feeling turned on. I'm sleepy, I shouldn't be feeling sleepy. I'm thinking about food, I shouldn't be thinking about food. I'm lonely, I'm missing my friend, my boyfriend. I'm restless, I don't want to be sitting, I want to be outside. And with every thought that comes, there's like an instant judgment. You failed at meditation. So it's an epidemic of self-shaming. And we have to figure out the antidote for that.
Very interesting stuff. Meditation is to put fear in its place, and not by force, but through non-judgmental observation of fear. That's one thing fear does not want, is to be observed, is to be seen. Fear likes to control and manipulate our lives from behind the scene, right? That clip was Radiant Sutra's school. You can YouTube that, Google it, look it up. Radiant Sutra's school. Look it up and tell me what you think. You can watch the entire video. We just wanted to get a clip of it just to see your thoughts on it. I've got callers on the line. They're in here. Let's get them in here right now. We got Annie from Baldwin Park. Annie, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Hi. I heard a piece about mindfulness and blindfulness. I'm kind of going through it with a relationship of my own, and I haven't spoken to my partner. We've been together for about 3.5 years. Mm-hmm. We haven't spoken in probably about a month. Mm-hmm. And I feel as though my insecurities and my attachment style has definitely pushed him away.
And what's the attachment style, if I may ask?
I would say more of an insecure, very anxious attachment style. After my partner, and over the years, it's just been getting worse. And so the piece about, mindfulness and blindfulness, and I feel like I've been trying to practice that a little bit, the mindfulness, but I've been thinking I've been trying to practice it.
Mm-hmm.
and being more self-aware.
Mm-hmm.
And looking back now, I've been trying to overanalyze everything, and I think I've gotten to a point where, maybe the past year, I actually feel like our relationship has a lot of blindfulness to it, and a lot of holes, and kind of been faking it till we make it, and now we're at this point where I'm like overanalyzing everything, and it's clear to me that it isn't what it was. And
No, listen, Annie, I'm in here with you. We're anxious, preoccupied together. I'm going to walk this walk with you. So, again, anxious folk, we were raised in a home where, our parents were in and out, inconsistent in terms of emotional attunement. They didn't catch every need that we needed. And we found ourselves, anxious for their attention, anxious for their approval. Now, according to John Bowlby, we carry this attachment style into our adult relationships, and we turn into somewhat of a chaser when there's a problem. A chaser and a fixer. Let me fix it. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about it. Let's work through it. Right? The problem with that is we also attract our relational opposite, the dismissive avoidant type, who run from intimacy. You see? So I'm sure you've heard of that concept, relationship as a mirror, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's being reflected back to you? Don't answer. Don't answer. Hold that thought. Annie from Baldwin Park is in the house. When we come forward, we're going to get her answer. Let's go. Hey, man, I'm doing my thing. I'm doing my thing. I'm hoping that people appreciate it. I'm hoping that people love the work that we're doing here. Come on. That's all I've ever wanted to do was help people, man. And at the same time, help myself while helping people. And you're going to see how I set this up, right? In terms of, pulling her in a little bit more. But I will say this to you guys. I will never, ever, ever, ever chase a motherfucker again. Not ever. Once the chink in my armor was revealed, I was like, I will never overextend. If an extra mile is taken, it's because we are both running that extra mile. If I'm going above and beyond the call of duty, it's because we're going above and beyond the call of duty. If I'm Michael Jackson working day and night, grinding on myself, my purpose, and my relationship, it's because we're Michael Jackson, grinding day and night, working on ourselves, our partner, our relationship, and our purpose. I'm not doing nothing in a one-sided way ever, 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 ever again. Once I studied myself down the damn rabbit hole and found Oh, all this fancy talk, all this, okay. Once I figured anxious, preoccupied, pull back. Stop leaning in. Pull back. The more you lean in, the less they respect you. The more you lean in, the less they feel they need to show up for you. Now, you can't be on some old, like something wrong with them, they fucked up. That's just how they're conditioned. But once you see you in the equation, that's when you're like, oh, recalibrate. Reprogram yourself. Chapter 14 of the Shrouded Lighthouse. What are we talking about? The pen of self-authorship. Wait a minute. I am worthy. Not because somebody said I was, but because I know I am. Not because I want somebody to say I'm worthy, because worthiness lives in me and manifests as a prayer through the work that I do. Nah, I don't need no one to co-sign my worthiness. No one. Do you see? Never, ever, ever, ever again. I hope are y'all learning? What are you tapped into what I'm saying? Hey, listen, man. I appreciate everybody for being in here. Check out Zoe Williams' fourth book, The Shrouded Lighthouse. Forward by Dr. Alan Berger. My brother, Alan Berger. I got to get him back on the show, too. I would love for 40 people who are in here right now, go buy my book right now. Oh, well, Diamond Blue said he got all my books. Of all of the books, which is your favorite? Same, mine is Rebirth of Seeds. You know, I think I have a couple of copies of the Rebirth of Seeds. Huh. Oh, to go get the Shrouded Lighthouse, you just go to my website. Attila just put the link in there for you, Josh H. I have the Shrouded Lighthouse. I've gifted it to others. It's a work of wonders. Thank you. The new one is... I don't know. Have you guys noticed the shift in the content of the shows? I don't want to give anything away. To get through the dismount, the dismount is crazy. Don't play yourself. The dismount, the relationship dismount? The relationship dismount. Heavy hitter.
And it's not that viewpoint, by the way, isn't limited to the Judeo-Christian canon. You see the same thing in the Taoist representation, because in the Taoist world you have a domain of order, that's the black serpent, and you have a domain of chaos. Sorry, I have it reversed. The domain of order is the white serpent, and the domain of chaos or possibility is the black serpent in the Taoist image, the two snakes, head to tail. And your job is to walk the line between them. And you can tell when you're walking that line because that's where things are maximally meaningful. And so that's another element of this vision, which is that if you orient yourself with upward aim and you straddle the line between order and chaos, then things become maximally meaningful around you. So, and Musk, I just did a podcast with Elon Musk, and he talked about resolving his existential crisis, the existential crisis that he experienced when he was about 11 or 12. It was a crisis of faith, essentially. And the way that he resolved that and then motivated himself so intensely was by understanding that if he pursued the path of the expansion of knowledge, that would be intrinsically meaningful. That's the path of growth.
You already know who that is. That's Jordan Peterson on the Joe Rogan podcast. And he's talking about that middle path. That's a Buddhic thought, the middle path, right? If you read the Eightfold Path and the Dharmapada and the other works of Buddha, you will hear about the middle path. And again, even the Quran speaks of the straight and narrow pathway. In the Quran, it's Adina Siratul Mustaqim. Guide me along the straight and narrow path that the ancients walked before me. The masters walked before me. That is the Quran, this middle path. Many of us struggle to get to the middle path. The middle path is because we haven't looked inward. I don't believe it's about the acquisition of knowledge, because there's two types of knowledge. There's technical knowledge, the knowledge to create a chair, a television, a cell phone, a table, right? That's technical knowledge. Practical knowledge we use to build a house. But psychological knowledge, the knowledge of self, that is the crucial part that will get us to this internal healing. Modern day Western clinicians will tell us it's about individuation. Did you see the iconography in Jordan Peterson's description? Right? You had the white snake and the black snake. Oh, that's yin and yang. Is that the same as Carl Jung, the mask and the shadow? Yes. It's all still there. It's all still here for you to conquer. I got to get back to Annie Baldwin Park. She was cooking. I love what she was laying down. So, Annie, are you struggling to call him? Are you struggling to leave him alone?
Yeah, I am. And I just actually reached out probably about a week ago, but I haven't responded because I feel like I need to hold on to that little bit of dignity that I have left.
Mm-hmm.
He tends to do this where we're good for a couple months. We'll get into an argument. It doesn't have to necessarily be a big argument, but
well, let me just say this: is he an avoidant?
He's very avoidant.
Okay, so typically, and he should go to therapy. You should go to therapy as well. But typically, avoidants don't like tough conversations, difficult conversations. They view it as conflict.
Yeah.
Right? So you're trying to figure it out and work it out, and that's seen as smothering, that's seen as an attack, and if your tone or delivery isn't right, shut down, deactivation.
Right? Yeah, 100%.
So I would say to you, go find a great therapist. Stand your ground, because the strength for an AP is to do what you have conditioned, is to do the opposite of what you've conditioned yourself to do. You've conditioned yourself to say, let's fix it. Let's work it out. Because that's what you did with your parents. Let's talk. Hey, you see, I got an A. Look, I made the drill team. Hey, you're trying to get them to become emotionally attuned to you. So I'm encouraging you. I'm with you. I was there not long ago. I was there. And I'm going to tell you, the best thing you can do is pull back. And don't pull back for a reaction. Don't pull back hoping that they'll call you, hoping that they'll re-engage. Damn all of that. Pull back for who? Who? You tell me. Pull back for who?
Yeah, for me.
Come, hey man, if you don't put on Michael Jackson's Smooth Criminal, we should have been hearing Annie, are you okay this whole time, man? Annie, you got to do it for you. You have to do it for you. Okay?
Yeah, that's where
So,
I'm starting to realize and
so
feeling more calmness. Yeah.
I got a book for you. Come on. I got a book for you, Annie. The book is called Guilt is the Teacher, Love is the Lesson by Joan Borisenko, PhD. Joan Borisenko. Guilt is the teacher, love is the lesson. Right?
Got it.
Great book. And then there's one other, The Self-Esteem Workbook by Glenn R. Schiraldi. Okay? All right, so I got a question. Guess what you just did, Annie? All right, so I need you to keep calling in, Annie. This is the rule. If I ask you, guess what you just did? You say, I brought Baldwin Hills or Baldwin Park in the building. That's what you tell us. You brought Baldwin Park in the building. So I'm going to do it again. We're going to do it again. Annie, guess what you just did?
Baldwin Park in the building.
Hey, Baldwin Park is on deck. Listen, if you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. The VOR is on complete fire. That was a dope call. That was a dope call.
Relationships. Got you confused? Need some straight talk? This is where you get the unfiltered truth about love.
Hey, it be flying, right?
And everything in between. He breaks down relationship dynamics with no
I'm coming to you, T Money.
practical advice that actually works. Tackling the questions you're afraid to ask.
T, you should call in.
You need to hear. You're inside the Voice of Reason with Phil Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, we on. What's happening? And I remember there was a time, maybe last month or earlier this month, I used to get a couple of super chats, super thanks, cash apps. Not no more. I think it's a conspiracy. Well, I spoke too soon. I spoke too soon. Son of Apollo, thank you, sir. I spoke too soon. Lloyd Hinton hit that super chat or hit that cash app. I get the cash apps right now. And I appreciate whatever you guys could do. Hey, Mufasa. Thank you. We appreciate it. If you guys are really rocking with what I'm putting down, I thank you. I thank you. And you guys have been killing the likes. I love that. King Lloyd, Mufasa, Come on, folk up in here, Apollo. We appreciate it. And you see, the playlist is banging too. T Money, what up, though? Detroit. I love it.
Once upon a time, there was a fish who lived his whole life in the great ocean. But because the water was so clear, and because it always slipped aside whenever his nose pressed against it, he never realized he was in the ocean at all. To him it seemed as if he was gliding through empty space, moving by his own cleverness. The water carried him, pushed gently against his tail so he could move forward, held him up so he wouldn't sink. But he never noticed. Then one day, the fish did something dangerous. He started thinking, wow, how remarkable I must be to be moving all by myself in the middle of nothing. But once he began to think about swimming, something went wrong. You know how it is. If you stop to think about breathing or about walking naturally, suddenly it feels awkward.
Come on,
The
mindfulness.
same happened to the fish. He became self-conscious. His strokes felt clumsy. And then he looked down. For the first time, he saw the endless black depths yawning beneath him, and terror struck him. What if I forget how to swim? What if I just drop and sink forever into that darkness? Panic filled him, and in his desperation, he thought of a plan. If I could just grab my own tail with my mouth, I could hold myself up. I wouldn't fall. So he curled himself tightly and snapped at his tail, but his spine wouldn't bend far enough. He missed. Not ready to give up, he tried again. And again. Round and round he spun, chasing his tail in frantic circles. The faster he chased, the more he felt the terrible pull of that abyss below him. The more afraid he became, the harder he spun. Time passed, and his world became nothing but dizzy circles, frustration, and fear. He was exhausted, disgusted, and yet too terrified to stop, for he was certain that if he paused for even a moment, he would fall into the darkness. His life had become a nightmare of meaningless effort, and still he kept spinning. Now, the great ocean had been watching this little fish all along, with a mixture of amusement and pity. The ocean loved all its creatures. It gave them space to live, to dart and dance freely. It held them up without asking for thanks. always slipping away from their noses, so they could move easily, and always pushing gently at their tails, so they could glide through its vastness. But here was this poor fish, convinced he was swimming all by himself, and working himself into madness over nothing. So at last, the ocean spoke. "What are you doing, little one?" "I am terrified," cried the fish. "I am trying to catch my tail to keep myself from falling into that terrible abyss." The ocean calmly replied, "You've been trying that for quite a while, yet you haven't caught your tail, and you haven't fallen either. How do you explain that?" The fish blurted, still panting, "Because I'm swimming, of course. Don't bother me. Can't you see I'm busy saving myself?" The ocean, laughing, "Oh? And how is it you have been able to swim through all of this nonsense, spinning round and round without falling once? I am the ocean in which you live, move, and are able to be a fish. I hold you up all the time. I have given you the height, the depth, the length, and the breadth of myself in which to swim. Yet instead of exploring, you have been wasting your life chasing your own tail." Asterisk. The fish stopped. For the first time since his panic began, he loosened his body and looked around. He wasn't falling. He wasn't sinking. Even though he had stopped moving, he was still floating, held by something invisible and vast. Then the truth dawned on him. It was the ocean that carried him all along. It always had. A deep calm.
Come on, man. Alan Watts. The voice of reason is on complete fire. We're talking about mindfulness versus blindfulness. And you guys know how this show goes. Typically, I'm 35, 40 minutes into the setup, explaining and questions, but the phone lines have been jumping this whole time, man, because people want to talk about it. Let me get the callers in here right now. T-Money from Detroit, Michigan. Hey, man, what's happening? Talk to me. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
What up, though? Great brother Zone.
What up, though? Man, I'm good. So what are your thoughts, my friend? Talk to me, man. How you feeling?
I'll start with this one. After the fire bursts pleasure that doesn't remain without pain.
Yeah.
I say that to say it gets greater later, right?
It gets greater later, man. You better keep dropping them jewels, brother. That's what this show is for. So,
thank you, sir. I pose a question for you. Can I ask you a question, please?
Absolutely.
In regards to this topic of mindfulness, could this possibly be a byproduct of the aspect of shame that becomes associated with facing accountability through a victimized mindset?
Yes, because the reason why we created this monstrosity of a word called blindfulness is because it's full of shame and guilt. So if shame and guilt is the fuel for the blindness, there's a willingness to look away from your part in it. You're blindful, right? You're not mindful. Mindfulness is non-judgmental, right? That's it. Like a lot of people don't know the difference between detachment and non-attachment. It's easy to walk away and run from people and say, "I'm never going to talk to you again." Detachment is ghosting, just classy. It's like classy ghosting. Non-attachment is to remain present without any intent. I don't want anything from you. I don't want you to change. I'm just going to be present in this process as it continues to unfold. That's non-attachment. Do you see? Mindfulness works the same way. What are you mindful of? Yourself? Does that make sense, brother?
Oh, absolutely. And so for the healing purpose, because I know sometimes, you drop bombs on us, from way far, but this ain't Hiroshima. This actually a Hiroshima of love, if that makes sense.
A Nagasaki of love. Come on.
You understand me?
Right.
So I would say they say that they tend to. I want to be quick because I know we wired to the last hour.
Mm-hmm.
That we say that the triangle is the strongest shape, correct?
Mm-hmm.
According to certain thoughts. So I propose 3 V's of life and healing and relationship.
Mm-hmm.
There's 3 V's. You're either going to be a villain of your own choices, a victim of your own choices, or victorious through your own choices.
Man, hey, no. You don't get to do us like this. Hold tight. Listen, don't go nowhere. Detroit is in the house. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you gotta do is call me right now. 1-800-920-1580. Woo, hey. Yo, it's crazy. It would be. Yo, T Money acting a fool. Hey, that's heat, bro. Who else is brave enough to call in? Call me right now. 1-800-920-1580. Thanks to everybody that hit the Cash App. I appreciate it. Not the Cash App. Yes, to the Cash App. That was Lloyd Hinton. One Cash App. But everybody that hit the super chat is what I'm saying. The super thanks, which is the $sign down at the bottom. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm your dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a bad person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff? The child wasn't his, and you still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
Oh, that right.
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I was like, there's something wrong with that.
You told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed. Hit you with a bad vibes routine. How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches the nip.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man moves on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
How do you write William so well?
So William, reason and accountability. The voice of reason.
Meditation is a naturally occurring rest state combined with awareness. It's instinctive. Everyone can do it. In our life, we rotate and flow between 3 basic states of consciousness. We're awake, and then we get tired and we fall asleep and we dream. So these 3 states of waking, sleeping, and dreaming are the fundamental rhythm and flow of consciousness. Meditation is a combination of waking, sleeping, and dreaming, and something more. On a physical basis, when we meditate, what happens is that the body can enter a state of restfulness and relaxation that's deeper than deep sleep. And it does this in about 3 to 5 minutes. So it's clear that nature has installed this ability that we call meditation as a way of quickly recovering from exhaustion and the stress of life. That was Dr. Lauren Roche. Listen, meditation is not about fighting your thoughts. It's not about recontextualizing them as they come up. I don't like that thought. I don't like the way it makes me feel. Push it away. That's not meditation.
Meditation is the nonviolent, non-judgmental observation of whatever comes up from your consciousness. You are watching as the other, right? If you can imagine yourself the size of a gnat in the upper right corner of your ceiling, but you had the eyesight of 10,000 eagles. And you could also envision yourself sitting on the couch, the small you envisioning the big you on the couch. Imagine being able to visualize observing the thoughts that come up from that perspective, right? The thoughts are not you, right? The feelings are not you. You allow yourself to feel without condemnation. This is meditation, right? This is how you get through difficult moments. Moments become even more difficult when you fight the moment. You try to rewrite the moment as it comes. You're rewriting the memory. I wish I could have did this. I wish I should have said that. No. Mindfulness, aware. Oh, this feeling happens when I'm in a situation such as this. The last time I reacted poorly. I didn't respond. I reacted. Okay. Observe yourself without judgment, without condemnation, and let's see, right, how I choose to respond from this. Do you see what I'm saying? Mindfulness can be a powerful tool in healing your relationships. This is why most people avoid conflict, because they don't know how to ingest conflict, right? Ingest it. You're in the moment. Ingest it, right? Without judgment. Embrace it. Pull it in. It's okay. This is a difficult moment. Moments don't last unless you fight them. Uh-oh. Hold tight. My brother T Money, Detroit. I got to get him back in here. Detroit on the line. Brother, you got to give us a final thought because you just dropped bombs on us, man. Come on.
Yes, if I can be quick with it, I was once all three of these V's. I was a villain to my choices, a victim of my choices, and also a victor. It comes through acceptance, as you just eloquently stated.
Mm-hmm.
Things do not last forever.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get trapped within anxiety, that's when I became a victim. Oh, this happened to me because.
Right.
When I move forward, if we're going from left to right as we read at the bottom of a pyramid to over to a villain,
Mm-hmm.
this happened because I did this to you because.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a perspective. That's like the peephole in your door instead of opening up the door to gain. If you don't as your previous clip spoke on, don't spiral because that only digs in the ground, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you keep spinning in one continuous way that goes down, but if you can spiral, you can hit every corner of an object from within, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is full acceptance of the whole. So now I can rise up and I can become victorious, i.e. the observer.
Man.
I'm not going to sit here and try to profess that this came overnight, but I read a great book called The Shrouded Lighthouse. I've been following Zoe. I'm not saying that, the guy said don't make nothing out of make no idols out of man, but at the same time, I got to give props in the light of what I know that's within me to you. So I really do salute you. I know you don't need this, but bro, you necessary. But thank you, bro. Oh,
Man,
God.
I appreciate you, brother. Guess what you just did, T Money?
Bro, Detroit into the building.
Detroit up in here. What up, though? Somebody give me a call right now. The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. One of our legends is in the house right now. Long time no hear from. Sean, Oakland, California. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Oh, my goodness. Well, of course, I love our brother from Detroit.
Yes.
That's a strong brother.
Yes.
We all know. I mean, you know more than me. But I'm telling you, Compton, Oakland, we are strong.
Mm-hmm.
Strong people.
Mm-hmm.
But my reason for calling is listening to the show is our self-dialogue, right? Because I'm a baseball guy. I love baseball. It's one of the hardest games ever to play in the history of the world. You have to deal with failure. So it's all about, and that has a lot to do with relationship.
Right.
So what I'm telling people is, you do need to pay attention to your self-dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
Self-dialogue is so important. I'm not saying just hype yourself up to be something unrealistic. I'm saying don't set yourself up for failure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying in your mind, tell yourself you can do it. You can do whatever the heck that you want to do, and plan to do that. And keep telling yourself that. And even when you're thinking to yourself, oh, this is going to be hard, tell yourself, I'm going to figure out a way to do this in a positive way and keep it going positive all the way through and move myself forward in this life of agenda process agenda.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to move everything forward, and I am not going to allow myself to tell myself something negative and mess up any part of my day.
Man, I love that, Sean. Man, long time no hear. We appreciate the wisdom, man. Guess what you just did, Brother Sean?
Oakland in the house, baby.
Yes, sir. Town business. We all over the nation. You know what it is. Tonight's topic on the VOR. It is off the Richter scale right now. Blindfulness versus mindfulness. Oh, Lord. Brothers and sisters, kinfolks and wanderers, I need you to hear me now because the hour is exceedingly late. And this sermon we've been cooking up tonight, right? It ain't sweet. As that comic say, what that comic say on Instagram? God ain't pleased. God is not pleased. You understand me? The world has been baptized, not in water, but in blindfulness. A blindfulness so thick, so seductive, we call it life. Our dear sister and ancestor, Octavia Butler, warned us, God is change. But you've been worshiping comfort, bowing to the golden calf of distraction, scrolling like prayer beads through digital rosaries, waiting for salvation from machines you can't even see. Also, our good brother, Krishnamurti, a.k.a. Uncle Hurti, Krishna Hurti. He whispered to us like a surgeon, saying, it is no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. Yet, here we are. Right? Goodness gracious. Congratulating ourselves for being well adjusted. Adjusted to poison. Adjusted to sleep. Adjusted to psychological chains. I call this blindfulness, the religion of the lost, the practice of living with your eyes closed and calling it walking by the vision of faith. Right? Relationship has the unique ability to make one aware of oneself. To be aware of oneself is a rare gift, but it shouldn't be. It's a gift that should be cultivated from early childhood, self-awareness. Because in self-awareness, right, we can cultivate self-love. In self-love, there's always going to be self-acceptance, right? I accept me, flaws and all, broken and all. Right? I refuse to be blindful about myself. I refuse to be blindful about where I came from, who modeled me, who molded me, right? The potter who touched my soul from childhood, who molded me as a child, the potter wasn't perfect. So the imperfections are in me. Mindfulness of that can turn that into art, can turn that into self-love, blemishes and all, right? Let me testify plainly to you. Blindfulness is not just ignorance. It's a conscious ritual. It is yoga for the damned, breathing in delusion and exhaling denial, right? Stretching your soul into contortions so you can stay supremely comfortable in all types of fear-based, ego-based, and psychological cages. You call it wellness, but really it's numbness. You call it spirituality, but it's conscious sedation. Soren Kierkegaard told us that despair is the sickness, is what sickness, Kierkegaard told us that despair is the sickness unto death. Well, blindfulness is despair cosplaying while spewing spiritual affirmations. It's meditation apps that keep you tranquil while the house is burning, right? All around you. It's toxic positive thinking while the planet chokes on delusions. The world of healing through relationships has become the devil's very own yoga mat. The devil wants you asleep, not internally awake. The devil wants you self-avoidant, not on the pathway to integration. But is it an external devil? Or is it an internal devil called ego? You don't want to be mindful. Because here's the sad truth. Mindfulness isn't comfortable. Huh? What? Where the crickets at, Andy? What? What? Mindfulness is not comfortable. To be aware of what you seek to hide, to be aware and loving, right? And empathetic and compassionate towards the parts of yourself that you wish you could abandon, that doesn't feel good. This is why superficial flings and long as I'm getting some nice gifts and he's taking care of me and she's making me something to eat and she giving me sex and long as that is happening, many of us are in this blissful state of blindfulness. But hear me. Mindfulness, the real thing, not the store-bought knockoff, is war. One of my favorite rappers, Rakim, said, I ain't no joke, and neither is awareness. Kendrick Lamar pulled masks off when he spit, ain't nobody praying for me. And Black Thought dropped the truth like meteor showers. Every rhyme a revelation, every bar a scripture. Mindfulness is not closing your eyes. It's painfully, sometimes tragically, opening your third eye so wide it begins to bleed light. It's standing in the flood of history, naked, unblinking, saying, yes, I see the horror. And I still choose the truth of all that is, which also includes myself. Mos Def once rapped, why did one straw break the camel's back? Here's the secret, the million other straws underneath it. Mindfulness is seeing every straw, every weight, every invisible chain, and not pretending it ain't there. So many of us are relational thespians, relational pretenders, emotion lenders, empathy lenders, caring lenders. Everything has to be paid back with interest because insecurity always will seek control. And the best way to control is to manipulate. And the best way to do that without being a human being is to be blindful. When we come forward, the voice of reason gonna keep it cooking. Let's go. Do we have any more callers? I would like some more callers. Damn, we dropped to 17 people? That's crazy. Oh, it's because it was buffering, right? I'm staying on point is up in here. I just saw you. Wait, who are y'all deleting? I'm missing all of the drama. What's going on? Hey, we still only have one. What's up? What's up? We still only have one Cash App. Can we get somebody to support this show, please?
Do you observe it, aware of it, without any choice, without any desire, just to observe the extraordinary beauty of the land? Or when you are aware, is there always a choice? I prefer this land to another land. I prefer this valley to other valleys. So there's always memory and choice operating. And can one be aware without any choice at all, just to be aware of the extraordinary sense of the blue sky through the leaves, and just move with it all. You understand? So that there is no division between the outer and the inner. It's like a tide going out and coming in.
I know. It's old, Krishnamurti. But the jewels are still there. There's no division between the outer and the inner. Is that not what our modern day clinicians call integration or individuation? Relationship. I know we have been taught to run to each other for connecting, for bonding, but two things can be true at once, at the same time, right? It could be for that too, but it's also to heal oneself, to reveal oneself. To go even further into Krishnamurti's work, Krishnamurti emphasized that relationship is crucial for self-understanding, acting as a mirror reflecting one's true self. He believed that true relationship reveals one's psychological state, including fears, attachments, and loneliness. He integrated the importance of understanding relationship as a process of self-revelation, rather than a means to achieve or become or get or what. Are you listening to the real purpose of religion? This is a man who was born in 1890 something. This is well before John Bowlby talked about attachment theory. You know Alan Watts sat with him. You know Carl Jung sat with him, right? You know Albert Einstein, Aldous Huxley sat with him. Could John Bowlby have sat with him when he went to Brockwood Park in London? Huh? Could this be the source of attachment theory? Of course, along with Buddhism. Right? Listen to it again. He believed that true relationship reveals one's psychological state, including fears, attachments, and loneliness. The man died in 1986. Taught for over 60 some odd years. He highlighted the importance of understanding relationship as a process of self-revelation rather than a means to achieve or become something. Relationship as a mirror in which, he says, relationship is a mirror in which I see myself as I am. Without relationship, I am not. To understand myself, I must understand relationship. He believed that self-knowledge is impossible in isolation and only can be gained through observing oneself in context of relationships. Though one is dependent on another, there is yet the desire to be inviolate, to be whole. This quote explores the complexities of psychological dependence and relationship, suggesting that true connection is possible when there is an absence of dependence. Listen, this is the work the man was putting down, man. I want you guys to understand mindfulness is key to cultivating a healthy relationship. When we come forward, the voice of reason will continue this bonfire.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk Tuesday.
I'm Ava Payton with BIN News Now. Black Mayor Eric Adams says New York City's war on rats is paying off, with 311 sightings down.
I don't know what happened. What's going on in here? Exactly. A Brave New World came out after Huxley. Kicked it with old Murty. Can I get 2 callers? That's 4. Can I get 2 callers? That's 2. Can I get 2 callers? That's 2. Can I get 2 callers? 1-800-920-1580. What is happening? Are you guys, did you guys all pay up your phone bills? What's going on? What's going on? Can I get 2 callers? Who in the fuck?
Where excuses die and champions rise. Smack dab at 1221 North La Brea on the corner of Fairview. This ain't a photo shoot, it's a battleground. Certified achievers in the game. Trainers who grind with you, not post pictures.
Can I get 2 callers? Is it possible?
Personal record or just trying to outrun your past.
Is it possible? We love you here in Canada. Thank you.
No fluff, just pain, passion, and purpose. Stop talking, start training, puff hard, puff loud, be legendary. Where folks go to war with their weaknesses. Huff and puff.
2 callers? 1-800-920-1580. Can I get 2 callers?
Extra sticky stress vet. And this is regular deodorant. Secret clinical in a heat wave. Oh, what a beautiful day. This is regular deodorant.
Or visit StateHouseLA.org. State House LA, keeping us
I cash up 5 big. Hey, Suge Mac 5. I cash up 5 big. Hey, Suge Mac 510. You always been on deck, man. You could take some time off. Man, you always been on deck. Where Herschel at? Adrian, what up? No, Chillin' Pimp just showed up a couple of maybe a week or so ago. Last week. Chillin' Pimp always solid. But is it me? This show flew by. Hey, Andy, this show went fast as hell. Yo, it went fast.
I'm Dr. Tracy Marks, a psychiatrist, and in this video, I'll be talking about mindfulness meditation and how to practice it. Mindfulness is simply paying attention to your environment, activities, and thoughts in a neutral and non-judgmental way. So you're limiting your thoughts to your present situation. If other thoughts intrude on this process, you bring your attention back to the present. For example, if you're mowing the grass, think about the things that you see, smell, hear, and taste and feel while you're cutting the grass. Ideally, avoid thinking about your unpaid bills, your relationship issues, the past, the future. You only want what is happening in the present moment. Practicing mindfulness helps declutter your mind. When your mind gets cluttered, you feel stressed. And this can come in the form of feeling tense, tired, overwhelmed, irritable. Not only can this affect you negatively, but it can also affect your relationships with the people most important to you. If your mind is overloaded, you can become emotionally unavailable and not fully engaged with the people around you. This is what happens when you're having a conversation with someone and you don't remember any of the details of what they said because you were thinking about your to-do list. In the short term, the person on the receiving end knows you're not listening. In the long term, you miss time with that person that you can't get back. So how do you remedy this problem when you have a busy life that you can't change? You live each moment mindfully. Now, you don't need a meditation pillow or hot stones to do this.
Listen, Dr. Tracy Marks is always on fire. But no disrespect. That's the homogenized. You know what mindfulness? It's attentiveness. It's attunement. People who give their heart, their body, their mind, their blood, their soul to whatever it is they're doing tend to rise. It tends to be amazing. It tends to be great because they've given their whole selves to whatever it is. When was the last time you gave your whole self to yourself? And if you haven't given your whole self to yourself passionately, deeply, right? Meaningfully to yourself, what have you been doing to others? Have you been showing up partially? Are you continuing the practice that broke you when you were a child? It's fancy wording. I love Dr. Tracy Marks, and I'm not disagreeing with what she says. She's 100% correct. What I'm saying is mindfulness is awareness. It's attunement. So when the clinician says, you have an insecure attachment style because you had a parent, a primary caregiver that wasn't emotionally attuned, or they were inconsistent in that attunement. That means they weren't paying attention. They weren't locked in. Right? That's all that is. Attention, awareness, attunement, tapped in, mindful, presence. I am completely here. Right? You know that old saying when people say things like, well, you want something done, you got to do it yourself. Why? Because it's not theirs, and they won't be as attentive to whatever it is you care about, more so than you. Right? When it comes to love, we bottom line love. What can you give me? Even if it's quiet, I just need quiet. Right? We played that clip from Cam Newton's podcast. The lady said, the best relationship I ever had. The man said, come to my house, I'll give you the keys to the car, give you money, give you everything you want, just don't talk to me. And instead of peeling that back and looking into that and say, wait, whoa, how is that your best relationship? And why would he even request that of you? Instead of saying, why is this the norm? Right? When you got Krishnamurti out here saying, hey, relationship is about the discovery of self. And it's not just Krishnamurti, it's all the mystics. Paramahansa Yogananda's teachings emphasize the spiritualization of all relationships, viewing them as opportunities for growth and expansion of love. He believed that the ultimate purpose of relationships is to develop unconditional love, mirroring the divine love of God. This involves recognizing the divine spark in oneself and others, and then begin cultivating love, understanding, and harmony in all interaction. That's Paramahansa Yogananda, author of the book Autobiography of a Yogi, which was the only book on Steve Jobs' iPad or iPod at the time. Yogananda spiritualized relationships. Yogananda taught that all relationships, from family and friendships to romantic partnerships and guru-disciple bonds, can be elevated through love and understanding. It was a spiritual movement. Relationship is a spiritual classroom. I've been saying it this whole time. But we want, no disrespect to anybody, we want the trauma porn that's out there. We want to laugh at other people's pain. We want to put ourselves on a pedestal because on the surface, we look better, we're doing better, we're doing more. But real love is about rolling up those spiritual sleeves and getting in there. And it requires mindfulness. Every time a celebrity couple get together and the internet go crazy, they become relationship goals. How has that turned out for the majority of them couples? We got to see somebody in an elevator fighting to know that, oh, they human. We got to see somebody crash out at the Oscars. Oh, they're human. But before you see the work in progress, you go, oh, that's relationship goals. Just because they have the social baubles and artifacts that makes one look successful. Again, Krishnamurti, relationship is the mirror in which you see yourself as you are. Do you want to see yourself as you are? Do you approve of the sight of it, of you? Do you approve of that? You got people running around talking about love is a verb. Love is a set of actions. Some people even argue both. Can it be both? No, something is broken in you that needs something. Where there is love, there is no need. Love and God are synonymous. The Quran says, Allahu as-Samad. Allah is needless. Imagine if you could do what Paramahansa Yogananda just alluded to. The ultimate purpose of relationships is to develop unconditional love, mirroring the divine love of God. Would that make you needless? We don't even take time to explore the idea. Elevating to a level of unconditional love. Oh, love is a set of is a verb. You gotta act right. That's because you're broken. And you've integrated that brokenness into your identity, so you can't get rid of the brokenness because it gives you a sense of self. It gives you your sense of self, right? Listen to Krishnamurti. Listen. These are the mystics. Love is something that cannot be cultivated. Love is not a thing to be bought by the mind. If you say, I'm going to practice being compassionate, then compassion is a thing of the mind and therefore not love. Love comes into being darkly, unknowingly, fully, when we understand this whole process of relationship. Then the mind is quiet, right? It does not fill the heart with the things of the mind. And therefore, that which is love cannot come into being. Because the mind is in place, the ego is in place, the performance is in place, the wounds have integrated themselves so deeply into your sense of self that you don't know how to show up without being what the brother said, either a villain or a victim. The only way you're victorious is when society said you won. Man, the voice of reason out here wilding right now. Listen, if you want to join the remaining minutes of the show, mindfulness versus blindfulness. All you got to do is call me, 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, more from this bonfire.
Relationships. Got you confused? Need some straight talk? This is where you get the unfiltered truth about love.
మీరు శాంతి కావాలని కోరుతున్నారు.
You want to be peaceful.
ఈ శాంతి బయట ఎక్కడ ఉందో మనకు కానరాదు.
Peace is not outside.
మన యొక్క విశ్వాసం నుండి ఈ శాంతి మనకు లభిస్తుంది.
You can attain peace out of confidence.
కానీ ఈనాటి మానవునికి విశ్వాసం అనేటువంటిది దృఢంగా ఉండటం లేదు.
The modern man has no strong confidence or faith.
వ్యక్తికి ఎదురుగా నటిస్తూ ఉంటాడు.
He just pretends in front.
ఈనాడంతా కూడా నటన భక్తులుగా మారుతున్నారే కానీ శాశ్వత భక్తులుగా మారలేదు.
We have only acting in the field of devotion, but not in reality in daily life.
నటన కానీ శాస్త్రం కానీ రెండు కూడా నియమించి ఆవిర్భవించేటువంటివి.
Good and bad, they find their origin in you only.
నువ్వు స్థిర చిత్తమైనప్పుడు ఆ యొక్క విశ్వాసం స్థిరంగా ఉంటుంటుంది.
If you have steady mind, you'll have steady faith.
Come on. Hey, listen, Sai Baba, man. Hey, listen, I'm going to bring the spirituality, I'm going to bring the wisdom from all over the world, from places you've never heard, but I will also bring it from places you have heard that you do agree with. Because, you know, people got to get it where they are, right? Who's that man babbling? What was that? I don't even know what that was. This man been talking about the ancient mystics. Well, okay, here's a mystic for you that you may know. Jesus. Jesus Christ, Son of Mary. Jesus emphasized love as a central tenet of his teachings, highlighting its importance in both our relationship with God and with each other. He taught that love should be both vertical towards God and horizontal towards others, including enemies. Jesus' love is sacrificial, selfless, and unconditional, setting a high standard for his followers. Do you know people will throw people away nowadays? They will discard because they've never reached deep enough into themselves, been mindful enough to come in contact with the truth of who they are, then accept it, then love it, then radiate that love outward. If you don't have unconditional love for self, you can't have unconditional love for others. John chapter 10, Jesus is telling you, isn't it written in your law that I have said ye are gods? And if the word is written, came from God, how can that word be broken? We find love through the sacrifice of ego, the love of self. We find God within ourselves. The ancients, namaste, the divine in me recognizes the divine in you. It's all aligned. It's all the truth. But you've been taught to self-avoid, self-loathe. You've been taught not to be self-mindful. Who am I? Where did I come from? Who broke me first? Do you see? Blindfulness. A willful act to not go into self. Jesus taught that the greatest commandment is to love God with all your heart, soul, and mind. He also emphasized the importance of loving one's neighbor as one loves themselves, and even loving our enemies. Ask somebody to love their enemy today. What? Huh? Right? Jesus introduced a new commandment to love one another as he has loved them, which is a love that sacrifices for others. What prevents you from sacrificing? Even for yourself. Oh, oftentimes it's pride, it's guilt, it's shame, it's ego. These are the things that must be put on the altar. But in order to discover them, you must be mindful of them. You must be mindful of yourself. Right? Jesus stated that the love for one another will be the identifying mark of his disciples. Jesus challenged his followers to love even those who hate, curse, or persecute them. The Bible states that God is love, and that love is demonstrated through Jesus' sacrifice for humanity. Do you see? All of these ancient scripts are pointing back to mindfulness over blindfulness. So I stand before you not as a comforter, but as your interpreter. Not as your preacher of hope, but as your alarm clock ringing at midnight. You want soft sermons. You need to go somewhere else for that. This is fire baptism, not bath water. Mindfulness is not the calm voice on your meditation app. It is the whirlwind that tears the roof off of your illusions. It is the silence after Kierkegaard's question, what does it mean to truly exist? It is the echo of Krishnamurti's thunder. Truth is a pathless land. Blindfulness says, go back to sleep. Mindfulness says, wake up or perish. Blindfulness comforts you in captivity. Mindfulness breaks the chains, but it will hurt. I'm the voice of reason. I start these conversations. It's totally up to you to finish them. I'm not asking you to think that I'm right or agree with me. I'm just here to agitate your spirit so you can wake up refreshed after this nightmare you're going to have tonight. Well, that's it. One of the best shows ever, in my humble opinion, and I don't say that very often. Great work. Yo, that was one of the best ever, dog. That's how I'm gonna go out. Hey, and yeah, that's right. Annie, are you okay? Yo, she set it off. All right, then, y'all. Great show. Appreciate y'all. Love.